to the Lobo Zone. I'm your host, Charlie Hume, and we're live once again from the Undefeated Studio in Washington, D.C. Heard you loud and clear last week. Maybe a little bit too much zone, so we're turning up the Lobo speed to 11. Week 4. Let's go! Undefeated no longer. Stugotz knocks off the last remaining perfect team in the LOL. Stugotz's Lobos 168.1, Randy Scott's Lobos 138.7. Todd Gurley and James White were a two-headed monster out of the backfield for Stugotz this week, combining for 56.8 points. Randy gets 34 from Zeke Elliott, but even if he'd started Amari Cooper, whom he left on the bench to the tune of 26.8 points, he'd have fallen short of the 168 that Gotts put up. And at the other end of the LOL standings, a battle of the defeateds, and Mike's Lobos are on the board first, dispatching Dom's Lobos 156 to 79.3. After a quiet start to the season, Tariq Cohen explodes for 30.4 points to lead the way for Mike, although another curious decision to bench Jared Goff and the 39.3 points he put on the Vikings in favor of Carson Wentz. We'll keep an eye on that quarterback situation heading into next week. Dominique never stood a fighting chance after a dismal performance from his running backs. More on that disappointment from Coach Fox himself.
A lot of things, I guess. New coach, new GM, new players, maybe a new league.
On to a second straight appearance in the LOL game of the week for Greg's Lobos, but the result remains the same. Amin's Lobos 141.6, Greg's Lobos 111.1. Amin didn't need much past Alvin Kamara and Golden Tate. Those two combined for 74.3 points, but a minor controversy brewing in the league office as Amin tangles with the Lobo powers that be over a logo redesign. Greg was bitten by the bye bug this week as he suffered at the running back position without Adrian Peterson. Let's hear from the Game of the Week victor first, then head into the den with Greg.
I've been asked to give a statement, I guess, because I won in the League of Lobos against Greg's Lobos. I guess I gotta go say something like I'm Amin Hassan, president, general manager, and owner of Amin's Ninja Lobos. I don't know much about fantasy football. I don't know any of the player names. I don't know players on my team.
Guys, no questions this week. Lobo headquarters is not a happy place to be. We've dropped a second straight game. We got our behinds kicked by Amin Hassan, despite 31 points from Deshaun Watson, who's really coming on for us. That's a bright spot. So is the fact that we have a little bit of resolution on the Le'Veon Bell nightmare. We expect to get him back in a few weeks. Look, the Lobos are 2-2 right now. You know Lobos don't quit. We're going to come back strong. We're going to run the table the rest of this season and go to the Lobo Bowl because 3 words, as always, we are the Lobos!
Greg, are you on the hot seat?
Are you on the hot seat? My seat couldn't be cooler.
Let's take a quick spin around the rest of the league. Lorenzo defeats Allison 134.1 to 123.8 to get his first win of the season. Mina gets her third win of the season against Sarah in a low-scoring contest, 81.3 to 64.2. Dan puts up 120.1 points but can't match Roy's 148.5. And in another tight shipping container contest, Guillermo comes out on top, beating Chris 117.4 to 112.3. And on to the updated standings. Roy and Billy sit atop the Romulus division with 50 points scored separating the two. And over in the Remus division, Amin, Randy, and Mina all sport 3-1 records, with Randy and Mina set to square off in Week 5. That's it from the Lobo Zone this week. As the engraving on the Gregory P. Cote statue at One Lobo Way states, there is no business like low business.